we're gonna show 3 study cases. So these are real cases that we had in the last 2-3 months, all 3. We're gonna show 3 of them where we had contact with realtors. They called us after a fact. We're gonna explain it a little bit more as we go into the deeper of the meeting. Then I'm gonna give a couple tips so you can tell your clients to how to maintain the properties free of mold. There's a couple things that you can do. Of course, you're never gonna be able to avoid a leak in a pipe. If a pipe bursts, you're not gonna be able to prepare for that, right? But there's a couple tips that you can do that we can mitigate as much as possible creating mold in a property or having water damage, okay? Okay, thank you. And of course, at the end, I'm gonna show you how we can help as well. Of course, you can call. There's a lot of people that do this. I don't think same way as we do it, right? But I'm gonna give you a little bit of our background as well at the end so you know how we can help you guys as well, okay? So, I guess a lot of the people here know what's mold, right? It's a fungi that exists everywhere you go outside. Mold is in the air. How it creates on the environment, that's the main question here. How does it attach to materials? How does it attach to drywalls, baseboards? That's what we're trying to figure out, right? There's 4 types of mold that we find more commonly in properties, which is Aspergillus, Cladosporium, Penicillium, and Stachy. The Stachy, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because the Stachy is what people usually refer to as black mold, the bad mold, okay? All of them are bad because they can turn from one to the other, right? But Stachy is definitely the worst. It creates mycotoxins, which affect neurotoxins in the brain. It does a lot of stuff. It consuming high quantities, right? So that's the one we try to focus. As soon as we have a test, we see Stachy, we are like, okay, we have to attack this as quick as possible. Of course, after consumption in a long period of time, if you have Stachy for a day, nothing's gonna happen, okay? So that's really important when they see it. Okay, the main thing here is we have to test it. We have to find out when did this happen, when did the leaks happen. Okay, this is sitting here for months. We have to act really quick. This being here for a day, okay, let's act quick because we don't want it to, get worse, but at that point, it's not as bad, right? So I'm also gonna talk a little bit about common causes, okay? And these are very, very common. Sometimes it's not a leak. Sometimes it's really poor ventilation in the property, or the vents are not properly attached in the ceiling. I don't know if you're seeing mold around the vent, an air duct vent. That's very common. That's because the vent itself is not properly attached. So you have the warm air and you have the cold air coming from the ducts. That combines, condense, it creates a little bit of moisture, right? It sweats.
Okay.
It's gonna start sweating. If you don't notice it, then you're gonna start seeing some stains, okay? So that's a common, because that's not a leak. That's something that we can probably avoid, right? Then roof and plumbing leaks are the #1 cause of having, water damage, mold damage. Roof leaks are really hard to detect. We usually recommend having inspections in the roofs once a year at least. We have hurricane every single year. That's not a surprise for anyone, right? So we try to prepare people as much as possible. Have at least inspection of the roofs, make sure everything is good. You don't have any leaks when it happens. And plumbing leaks is really hard too. I mean, if a leak pipe looks good, maybe you even do the inspection, it's not leaking, you don't have anything, and it just bursts. This happens. Water here is pressurized, so you have a lot of pressure running through the pipes. It just can happen, right? And then we have flooding and high humidity. Flooding is not as common as you would think coming inside the properties, but last year we had a huge incident with flooding itself. We were moving all over the place with hurricanes. So that's when it's more common, but it's not a daily thing common, the flooding, okay? High humidity in the properties is also another one that we can prevent, okay? So if people leave the property, turn off the AC for 10, 12 hours, they leave it in 80. That's usually good conditions for mold to sit in or water damage to sit in the properties. So we usually recommend leaving it in 77, 78 would be up there. Anything more than that, if you're gonna have a little bit of sweat, a little bit of water in a corner, it's gonna turn into mold because it's really hot. In Florida, it's really humid, right? We know that. So humidity is a big one as well. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about visible mold versus hidden. Whenever you detect or know that you have a leak in one of the plumbing lines inside the walls, those are the most hard to detect because you're not gonna see it, right? You're only gonna hear, I hear something behind the wall. The client's saying that they smelled something, but they don't really see anything. So those are the most complicated ones where you have to do a deeper, more invasive inspection to be able to determine what's going on, okay? The good thing about it is there's always sign. There's always sign that you have water damage. The floor is gonna buckle, laminated floor buckles whenever there's water in there, it vaporizes, it goes up. Baseboard is gonna start cracking, so there's always signs for us to tell, okay, something happened around here, and that's little things that you can dig in. Even as a realtor, you can say, okay, I see cracking in the baseboard, I see the painting is all curled up, is warped. Okay, something may have happened there. It may be, someone tripped on it, pushed it, whatever the case is. But those are the types of signs that we're looking for when we're trying to find for this. Any question at this point? Like I said, interactive. If you have any questions.
You said